Hey guys, what's up? It's Shla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Shla. And today, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, sorry, that was just really tight. My fault. That was stupid. Sorry, nothing happened, but that was just very stupid of me. Anyways, apologies for I'm being reckless this morning. I'm being reckless. Alright. Well, praise God I didn't hit anything. But don't worry, nobody was in actual danger. I wasn't even out the driveway yet, but yeah, that was just some tight corners and stuff. Now, am I doing better? I guess so. I mean, I'm feeling better, but I'm not well yet, which is I'm kind of like telling my body, like, clear this thing out, you know? I was thinking last night about kind of switching roles a little bit and becoming a comedian. Like this show would just become a bunch of jokes and laughs and funny stuff. Why I've always been this way where I love words and I love descriptions. So it's like I always get interested in being these different things because it's like, yeah, I want to have a doctorate. I want to be a comedian. I want to be a poet, artist. Like, I want to be as many of those names as possible. So I think I'm in the right occupation. I think I'm in the right occupation. There really needs to start to be some fight. I think there needs to be a little more fight out of me because something's got to break through. I need some kind of a breakthrough. I've been doing this, I've been slaving away for long enough. Start watching my stuff. I'm dead over it. I'm dead over it. Start watching my stuff. Start watching my stuff. I've been slaving away too long. Now, anyways. Now, anyways. What was I going to talk about? A lot of times I talk about things and I feel like the advice people give me is pretty terrible. And I want to try to do a biopsy of that and to see, because my intention is not to be ignorant. So now in this moment, I think I do what a lot of people don't do, which is you analyze and reflect after the fact and kind of see, oh, well, where was I wrong? Where am I wrong with? And all this stuff, which in my experience, it seems like people I get in arguments with, they never do that, and then I do. So it ends up putting strain on whatever relationship it is, friend, family, or relationship, because I'm trying to filter and better and improve and think about, hey, what can I learn from this? But the advice I give other people is typically not followed in the same way. Like a lot of times, when I give advice to people, they just don't like it, they just don't listen to it, they just, push it off. So that's why I'm here to kind of relay my point. And I mean, you know, it wasn't like, I don't know. I just think a lot of times when I talk to people, it feels like people, they don't really understand what I'm saying, and it always comes back to like the same kind of argument about, oh well, you know, you just go off of statistics and you haven't actually experienced anything. Like you don't know anything because you haven't actually experienced it. You're just going off of statistics. Here's the thing, and I've already talked about it on this show, like, I understand that there is a difference in comprehension with that sort of thing. And I think I already gave my opinion on it. It's that, yes, like, it is true. Technically speaking, if you just take an average of what people go through, it's likely your life is not at that average. It's likely that it's near that average, but those specific experiences won't happen to you because you are not, you know, there is no person who's fully average, obviously. And so that's a conversation and a point I can articulate, but nobody ever articulates it to me. Like they just leave it at what I just said. Oh, you just looking at statistics too much and blah blah. So I think I get what their argument is, but here's the thing. I don't know if that's their argument. I don't know if they even understand that. And then it's like, I don't even know if they know what they're talking about. So how am I supposed to take advice from that kind of a person where they're not coming from a place of wisdom, comprehension, or understanding? They're coming from a place of like authoritativeness, talking downness, and ego bloatedness. Nah, I guess I was trying to put effort into the next triple threat, and I just couldn't care. I couldn't care less to craft that. So, anyways, that's kind of the first premise. Is I feel like people give me points, but like they don't really say it properly, and then I have to like listen to their point, decode it for them into a form that actually makes sense to me or is relevant, because again, anybody could, and actually not just anybody could, this is all anybody's ever told me my entire life. Everybody always tells me, oh well, you can't base things off of statistics. That's not, and I already like made this point on the show. If you don't base things off statistics and you just base things on your own life, that's how you get problems. That's how you get problems. That's how we're in this situation that we're in right now. Because if you were born into a very wealthy family, you never look at any statistics, you never look at any data. You're going to judge life based on experience only, and you're going to think the world is a great place and it doesn't need any fixing. And so the way you vote, the way you interact with society is going to perpetuate the status quo. Because why wouldn't you? There's nothing wrong in your experience. You're doing great. That's all you need to do, right? That's all that needs to be done, right? Because it's just about what one person does as a person, right? As long as they hit a living wage worth of income, that's all they need to contribute, right? And I mean, sure, you could say with poorer people, it's, you know, it's going to be more accurate. For certain people, it's going to be more accurate to base it off of that. But Not really necessarily. It's still not necessarily going to work because there's lots of lower income people who maybe should be voting differently. They could be getting more involved in politics. We actually know that involvement in politics goes up the wealthier you are. We know that for certain. That as a percentage, poor people do not vote as often. Well, I actually kind of just made, like, okay, I didn't just make it up, but I can't verify that with a source. Basically, I'm making assumptions based on other statistics, because there's other data that I have that would indicate that, again, like a larger percentage of, for example, property owners vote more so than renters and all that stuff. So the bottom line is, even for poorer people, there's less of a participation, presumably. Like, I'm just gonna think I'm accurate with that, but I guess I could be wrong. I don't know. And so there's been this perpetual collapsing of the system. And you get to the point now where you have people who society lets slip through the cracks. And in my opinion, that's a problem. In my opinion, when you have a society that allows so many people to slip through the cracks, you basically ruined that society. Because you have somebody who could be more skilled or better than a certain person in a certain position, but instead the job goes to whoever was louder, whoever was more obnoxious, whoever grabbed it, and not in the hands of the person who might be better than them at it. It's this like commonly held concept, I think, that, oh, well, you need some kind of a push or a motivator. Like, if somebody can't earn it, they don't deserve it, or something. That concept, it really doesn't hold much weight. My apologies, I'm having a very hard time speaking. My throat's seizing up. You guys could probably tell I was trying to fight through it, but my throat's seizing up. Not good. Okay. Okay, that was really... See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not better, sadly. So anyways, where was I at? Yeah, you can't have a society where there's a genuinely good person. You have like two people. Someone who's really bad, really unqualified. And then you have somebody who is smart. They're wise, they're a good person. both of them send out like 300 applications, and they both just completely get ghosted. What does that say about society? What does that say about what's wrong with us right now? Because the one person isn't aggressive, does that mean they're not as good? Because that's basically the implication. Or the way society is structured is just to reward people who just like bite and gnash their teeth the way through, but those are not always the wisest people, and in fact, they're typically the grabbiest, meaning, you know, they're just going to grab the most things for themselves and not be as mindful as others. So there's a lot of lost potential as a result of a society like this. And I think I'm an example of it. And I think over time, you know, this is happening more and more. Where you're going to have people who are very whiny, who end up getting very good jobs for themselves, and then other people who are more capable but less obnoxious getting completely forgotten about. And it's a disgrace that this is the way things are. It is. I'm very sorry. I mean, I almost feel like I'm going to have to talk about this topic all over again because my throat is giving out. I'm very upset about that because all weekend nothing ever even that bad happened. That was like just now. Like the whole time I've been sick, I was talking a lot, and I'm definitely better now. So hopefully that was just a one-off thing. I don't know. That was really bad though. And even now, like it's, you know, it feels difficult to speak. So, but yeah, and so then you have people down my throat saying that, well, you know, you're just basing this stuff on other people. You should just try. You should just apply for things. You know? Just see how it goes or whatever. And, yeah, I don't know. I obviously get where they're coming from, but the stuff I'm talking about is a lot more important. Because it doesn't really matter if me as one person is able to be okay or successful. That's not really that important. It's just one person. You know, what I'm talking about is let's have a society where multiple people are at least given the opportunity to succeed. You see how there's a difference with that? So I kind of forgot what I was talking about. I started thinking of some other things. I mean, yeah, I guess I can just start from where I was at, kind of. I guess I would be having it if it wasn't for this throat giving out, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I would do if I can't do my walks with Schla. What would I do? Right, okay, I got it. So, yeah, like, and when I talk to people about this stuff, I honestly don't really care. That's great if I can be successful. I'm obviously not the main problem here, but in order for me to have a good life, I need to know that my peers are also able to have good lives and doing well. This is important. You don't really think about it because I guess people are kind of short-sighted, but, you know, for example, the crime rate in a given area. It's important for everybody in the area. And that's not you as a person. It's other people. It's the group. You and other people is what it is. So that's when you get into like having two jobs and how it's technically immoral. Because now you have a situation where somebody else could have needed that job and now like I'm working it to make more money for myself. And if everybody did that, unemployment would go through the roof. And so how is that right? And see, these are the things that I don't think people really think about or understand. If I have a high-paying job, it means that somebody else doesn't. If you shift the numbers around, like, people just think so selfishly. They think so selfishly, and they think there's nothing wrong with any of this stuff. But that's, again, why we're in the problem we're in now. Because if you have hordes of people who can't make ends meet, and they're in the street, or they're homeless, and there's so much pain with that, like, that they have to go through, that their family has to go through. What good is it if I can afford to live? You know what I mean? What is the point? I think that, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, you have to have a society where as long as the person shows up, they can live a normal life. And this doesn't mean, you know, they can get everything they want. Although it depends, because some people don't want as much as others. But yeah, I mean, you can have a society where things are fairly tight. You know, you don't have to guarantee a minimum wage that's like lavish. But you have to make it so people have an opportunity. They have like a peace of mind. I think mainly when it comes to insurances for things and keeping those costs down. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, you can't just give someone too much money. Then they're going to have no reason to move forward. No, the reason why people have no reason to move forward is because people gatekeep it. That's why people have no reason to move forward. It's not because they don't want to. I mean, in my case, you know, if I had to move forward, I'd have to just change jobs. There's no opportunity to do that at my current job. So you want to create a society where everybody just bounces around jobs and then tries to grab like the perfect opportunity where they can become a manager. Oops, except guess what? Most people can't be managers. So again, oops, unsustainable, not going to work because most people can't do that. Which is why you look at the data, because it doesn't really matter if I as a singular person am capable of doing it. If it's causing all this chaos just for me to make extra money, that's not worth it for society, for the culture at large. And also, by the way, oops, that's already what we do. And people are not staying at jobs. They're constantly bouncing around just trying to make ends meet. Trying to see if this place will pay 50 cents more. This is not conducive to anything good. It's not. No, nobody needs to be pushed in the form of financial scarcity. And that doesn't lead to anything wise or intelligent most of the time. It doesn't at large. Across the board, actually, if I really had to imagine, it's not people through scarcity who end up pulling out, but people who are given some amount of security to relax are able to pull up and pull through. So if you want the lower working class to be more productive, you have to give them hope. Hope that things are fine and that they can move forward. Now, I guess you can get into, well, in this day and age, you can attain so much pleasure so easily. Is it really like that anymore? And I would think so, but I mean, I guess that's another interesting topic, isn't it? But this is the problem. Because I think I realize what's true, and I guess time will tell, or I could insert this into GPT, that instead of looking into your own career and what you can do to further yourself in a developed society, it actually makes sense to put effort into seeing what you can do for the group. That is way more positive and beneficial for the greater good. And nobody thinks like that. I've never heard anybody think like that. everybody just gives the same dirty advice about, you know, how, oh, society won't change, you just need to try harder, you just have to do what you have to do. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I know I'm not saying things the clearest right now. I mean, this is a topic I really hope to revisit. Because like I said, my throat is being funky, but man, I'm sick of people with this stuff. It's weird. It's weird. Because I don't even think, like, I really am starting to realize this, and again, maybe I'll put this transcript into GPT, but I think that's what happens. Like, I think when I talk to people, they haven't had this conversation before. Like, that's the problem. Like, they're not even, like, thinking about what I'm talking about. Because, again, the mindset is, oh, well, I already have enough to deal with in my own life. You know, so I don't have time for other people, because my own career, my own life, that's, oh man, I'm already such a mess, man. I couldn't possibly dedicate an ounce of effort into thinking about other people. And everybody does this, and so at all levels of society, you get an exaggerated sense of inequality. That's why we're in the pickle that we're in. Stuck in the jar. But yeah, this is where we are. You know, and so I just want to know. I mean, yeah, I think it's a case of two things can be true at the same time. But I also think it seems like there's some kind of reason why I've been put through what I have and why I respond to things the way I am. Because I think there's, like, more truth to it than just, oh, well, you got nothing good to say anyway. Just apply to a job, get a decent paying job, and forget about all this stuff. You don't need to be thinking about that. Because that's, like, the implication. You know, the implication is like, oh yeah, you know, all this stuff you're thinking about, forget it. That's what the implication is. All this stuff you're thinking about, forget it. You just need to go to work. That's what you need to do. Just go to work. Forget about all this. Like, that's how I feel like people act, like, with me. You know? No, just get another job. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about And that's basically, I think there's probably been a generation of people where that was the advice. And so, the judgment and stuff, and I think now people don't even go for advice. Like nobody even wants to hear any advice or anything. People go out of their way to avoid it, as far as I can perceive. You don't even really, and you don't even get the sense that it matters, because everybody has so much noise anyway. I mean, how bad are people's lives? Does anybody even need advice? You just let a screen take over your pain all the time, and things feel pretty good. So what do you really have to be like upset about or concerned with? You don't really have much. I don't know what I'm going to do about this throat, guys. I mean, I was joking about it, but I don't know how it could just be like, this is just this morning. This was not a problem the entire weekend. So I guess I'm just going to push with water. I mean, maybe I didn't drink enough yesterday or something. I don't know. Because on the weekend, my meal timing is different, because with other people, you know, and then I don't, yeah, it's not as organized, so my hydration usually gets fouled up. And I'm just like well, I think I'm in tune with my body, so I notice when things are misaligned. No idea what that guy was trying to do. It looked like he was trying to pass me. And then in terms of the time we made, fine. Just fine. Oh, yo! What did this thing do? Hold the... I don't know if the transcript's gonna get fouled up, but this is mad annoying right now. Yo! Oh my gosh, who cares? Hurry up! Yo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the transcript is gonna be all messed up. Yo! Alright, well, we're not gonna end up losing an entire... Well, we just lost a minute, man. I think we would have been in here a minute faster if it wasn't for that. Yo! What? Yo. Are we just gonna have to, like, rush in the building? Oh my gosh. All the days to be late. Man, all the days to be late. Yeah, the thing's not even working. Whatever, y'all. It's gonna be time for a quick piece, because this is weird. This is not good. This is off to a bad morning. Oh, we're in a rush. It's been schla. It's time to buy schla. See you, schla.